Welcome to the Force Pro Sports ZAP Report. We've just concluded day 3. And would you look at that? It's 3 in the morning here in Loveland, Colorado. Welcome in, everyone. Hope you can enjoy your final couple days. Finals are beginning on the day that you're watching this video. We're going to go over day 3 of the tournament. Let's get into it, because I kind of want to go to bed. And I'm going to be commentating some more tomorrow, which was an awesome time, by the way. Thank you, Rockwood, for having me on. Let's review the rankings. Before I can do that, I gotta share my screen. That's how it works. Okay, so Brisboom in first place. Not all games are uploaded that were actually played today. Their score ratio is about the same, 2.33. Brisboom first, 20 eliminations. BDRL taking a firm second place, 52 points. All-American, Supercharged, and International Men of Mystery tied in third place with 40 points each. Supercharged up 1.16 on the score ratio compared to 1.02 for the Men of Mystery. Laserforce Crew in fifth place with 26 points. Auckland A 22, Loveland Curveballs 10, and Olympus 0. Barely. Let's check out our top players for the day. We are looking at, we'll go minimum 8 games for these top stats. We got Taipan and Rusty in the lead. Glader, Sharpshooter, Basil, nothing changed there. Screever, Brew, JFK, Simply OK fell down a few ranks, and Rook rounding out our top 10. Top commanders, we have Basil, Simply OK, Twin, Sexy Meow, and Sabo. Sabo coming in with a 1 out of 15 win ratio. Still managing that score. Heavy weapons, Rusty, Glader, Screever, Brew, and the Fear Turkey. Scouts, JFK, Sharpshooter, Prawn Boy, Beans, Cody, Scraps, Rook, Tomik, Sergeant Tucker, and Jeff Pex. Ammo Carrier, Rusty, Glader, Fireball DK, Archdruid, and Lone Soul. And finally, on Medic, we have Taipan, Donta, Old Man Thanatos, Lucy Dune, and Guy Next Door. Simply OK leading the way with Medic hits 97, followed by Basil 81 and Screever 78 in the race for most Medic hits. Simply OK is still a bunch of points ahead. We're going to go with a game highlight today. The Laserforce Crew versus Auckland A, pulling in what I'd call an upset win over Auckland A. Laserforce Crew has struggled to get high scores out of some of their players, but today we had a really nice game. Looks like Scraps was able to pull out a 9.1 scout game, 1.8 hit differential, 6 medic hits. Toyota pulling his weight with 4 medic hits. Let's see, Scraps has a 23 and 29 shots on the 3 hits respectively, Morange and Leech, and 10-2 on Essence. This was an excellent job by Scraps. Sexy Meow pulling a 10k commander game, no medic hits but 4 missiles, 20-19 on Morange, and pretty much even around the board with most other people. Essence getting the better for a little bit, but getting 2 missiles into know-it-all. Very good performance by this team. Adapatosaurus also having an impressive game with a 1.4 hit diff. 19-6 shots on the Morange, defending Lucy Dune quite well. This is a really good victory for Laserforce Crew, and it shows that they can have these higher ceiling games if they choose to, or if the situation allows for it. So let's take a quick look at the game. We've got a couple highlights for you. The first one, I am absolutely going to dunk on Adapatosaurus a little bit. If we watch this clip, you can see right over here, he checks his watch and he's looking around, and we're defending the team over here. And as we continue going on, we're going to see another watch check right there. And in the words of Iron Man, you thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. Can't use non-Laserforce equipment in the arena. Tragedy, throw him off the 3rd floor. All right, let's, there's not even a 3rd floor in this arena. Let's look at a real highlight from this game. Pat, you're doing really good this tournament. Just teasing. Thought that was a really funny clip. I wanted to just kind of lightly roast. We're gonna look up here. This is a really good play between Sexy Meow and Jeff Pex. So we see Morange has control of the new tower up in the red box here. What we're gonna see is Sexy Meow is coming. She's coming over to try to take it. So she tags down Morange. She thinks someone might be up here, I think. Anyway, realizing no one's there, she fires, and takes out Morange. Now, what we notice is that someone actually already put one into Sexy Meow a second ago. So let's see. Morange tags her. And so what we notice from Sexy Meow is she is able to fire at exactly the right moment here. The second that Morange comes up, she's able to put one into him. And Jeff Pex, aiming from, I believe, somewhere over here, I can't actually tell quite where it happens, is able to put one into Morange at just the right moment. I can't actually tell where she's firing from, but that was a really good support play that allows Sexy Meow to not get downed and Morange stay up so that Morange could try to get a reset and put a missile into her. And she wins the territory. I thought that was a nice team play and a kind of a guardian angel moment from Jeff Pex. So very well done. All right, let's continue on to our player highlight. I think I mentioned this player in one of the training camp videos early on, but I'm going to mention him much more fully now, especially now that we're through 3 days of the tournament. He's definitely earned this spotlight. I'm going to highlight Simply Okay. So we're going to open up his profile in this new one here. Simply Okay has not necessarily been a household name in the Laserforce community. He's been one of the Loveland guys. And up to this point, he's never had a tournament where he's played anywhere near this level. This is, at least on Commander. He played a killer ammo carrier in Loveland Internationals last year. He had some incredible plays in finals, resetting 3 hits and protecting his medic, playing an excellent synergistic ammo. But many people would agree that there's a different skill set involved in ammo carrier versus commander. And Simply Okay has been playing strictly commander this tournament. And boy, is it paying off. Let's go over some of the leader boards for the tournament just to see where we find Simply Okay, if I'm going to highlight anything for him. So first of all, 3 of the top 5 commander scores of the tournament so far belong to Simply Okay. Let's keep going down. We're going to, let's see. Sorry, if I enlarge the screen, that does not work. So you're going to have to deal with it. Simply Okay has the largest total score of the tournament, 211,000, where the next highest is Morange at 173,000. So incredible on the score front. Leading currently in total medikits with 97. He is 3rd in total missiles this tournament. I believe one more. Oh, yeah, only a couple more. He is leading in total nukes detonated, and he is leading in total nukes canceled. I'm calling this an official breakout tournament for Simply Okay on 3 hit. You can have a breakout on 1 hit. You can have a breakout on scout, breakout on resupply. Just because you can play one role doesn't mean you can play other roles, but I hope this shows that Simply Okay has brought a very unique and potent form of commander to his team that isn't just a product of the team itself. It is something that he's brought that's helping his team. Simply Okay, having an incredible tournament, needs to be highlighted. All right. Let's go to the team highlight. We're highlighting Australia Olympus today. Sorry, little Bo, you didn't give me your picture in time, so we don't have you with your cool parrot, though I do like that. Ranked number 8 across the board by everyone except for Glader, who's basically taking Taipan's word that this team is talented and could take much higher than 8th. We do not have stats for the games that I'm going to show you because someone didn't upload stats last night before going home. Tisk tisk. But we had some amazing games that were caught on stream, and I'm going to show you a couple clips. Basically, the highlight is Australia Olympus is on the cusp of winning games against the bottom 4 seed teams. So let's check it out. I'm sorry, bottom 3. They're one of the bottom 4. So we are going to pull up this little game. Loveland Curveballs decide to roll a different lineup than usual. Azra dies out without bases. Ash VD dies out missing one of their bases. We got Angel on Heavy, Lizzie Lizard on Commander. Meanwhile, we are in the final few seconds of the game here. So we are going to start from like 25 seconds here, and just we're going to watch this. So the score, everyone has bases except for Gaza is missing one base. So if Gaza got his base right this moment, then the Olympus would be ahead. We are 5 seconds left in the game. Gaza does not have his base, and the game is over. The final score being Loveland Curveballs up 35,000 to Olympus 33,711. So 1,300 points essentially. The Loveland Curveballs beat the Australia Olympus. But you look at this graph, and Olympus was winning this game at multiple points throughout. If Gaza got this base and they had 3 more hits, Loveland Curveballs would have lost this game. And I can tell you that there's a significant play done by Sabo early in the game where he breaks in and tags down 4 people as a scout and just starts resetting them all. So if you take away that chunk play, that totally set the momentum in favor of the Curveballs, Curveballs would have lost this game. We are seeing that the Olympus is playing really well. Gaza is the highlight of the team. He's playing an incredible offensive heavy. You see him run into the field and just begin wrecking face. Dart is playing a solid commander. He's getting his nukes and he's dropping them in a pretty reasonable time. And Wildcard is consistently having a high hit diff. Lilbo start with a great hit diff in this game. And you saw Cool Beans and Finn just managing their team and their resupplies very well. You saw Cool Beans taking a lot of shots out into the field. This team is getting it quick. And I can tell you that the vibes from the community are strong for this team. People want to see them take games off of people. So they're getting lots of advice. And I think they're going to come back tomorrow better than even they were today, making them a legit threat to take a game off some teams. Let's look at their game against Auckland. Now, it doesn't end quite as close, but absolutely, we can look and we can see. So, in the beginning of the game here, we are 2 minutes in. Olympus has 104 lives to Auckland's 79, and they are winning the game by 300 points. So just in this opening area, Auckland is down so much, and Olympus is getting ahead. They're getting ahead in the momentum game. And of course, we can look around. If we keep going through this game, we're at 104 to 110 lives. Score is about dead even, 100-point difference. That's at the 12-minute mark. We can go a little further. I'm just skimming through. This team is meant to come in last place. That's where everyone is projecting them pretty much. But we can see Lilbo at 5 minutes into the game with a 3.4 hit diff, Wildcard 1.8 hit diff. Dart with 2 medic hits already. Olympus is now a little bit behind on the lives game and behind in the score game. But this game kind of goes back and forth for a while, and you see real signs of life for this team being able to not only provide look, they're learning from the Brisbane players. Taipan is helping this team. And the advice they're getting, they're taking it to heart. They're playing the same positions over and over and over again. They're taking this tournament seriously. They're trying to get a win. And even if they don't take a game in round play, like, if they keep getting better like this, who knows what's going to happen in finals? There could be a team that could be taking last place quite unexpectedly against some people that just began playing this tournament, SM5 format this week. And that's pretty crazy. So they deserve a highlight. Do not sleep on these guys. They are here to play. Let's look at, all right. Game to watch today. I'm calling Auckland versus Olympus game number 2. We saw the first one that was just highlighted, and they didn't get to the second game of the match. If Olympus is going to win a game in a round play, I hate to say it about Auckland because I've already disrespected them a couple times this week, but the only games after this one are against Brisbane and the BDRL for Olympus. So this is pretty much it. This is their last chance to get a win in round play. This second game against Auckland, and let me tell you, it was sounding like Auckland was getting pretty tilted at times in that game against Olympus. They were making it a real game. So let's see what Olympus can pull off. I mean, they've got Brisbane players teaching them, and that is kind of the juice and kind of a key theme today. Yesterday we had 2 matches, US East versus Auckland. US East won both of those games, and I'm just checking my poll here. I don't think you guys were correct on that one. Besides, okay, so that was the first one. You guys voted for Auckland A. 62% of you thought Auckland A was going to defeat All-American Supercharged. You were very wrong. All-American won both games. The second one pretty handily. And the other vote was the BDRL versus International Men of Mystery. 54% of you thought that the BDRL was going to win that. And you were correct. BDRL absolutely stomped International Men of Mystery. Wasn't very close games. My closer than expected prediction was Brisbane versus International Men of Mystery. I don't regret trying to call the most likely upset against Brisbane, but Brisbane is here. Boom, taking it seriously. Not allowing really any team to get close to defeating them this tournament. Hasn't happened yet. There was a 40k to a 20k score difference against the Men of Mystery, so Brisbane here to slay. My closer than expected prediction for today is actually going to be the Team Auckland versus the International Men of Mystery. Now, it feels really bad to be saying anything negative about people who are my close and dear friends, but I'm getting kind of worried about the International Men of Mystery. I think Auckland is rising, and the type of team that Auckland is, the strong defense they have, I think it's possible that their playstyle could potentially counter International Men of Mystery a little bit. I do think Men of Mystery take both games, but I think it'll be closer than expected, considering Auckland is a few seeds lower in the standings. All right. Re-rankings. Here I got some explaining to do. All right. I have kept Brisbane at first. BDRL, fine. I am putting you in second place. When you are analyzing anything, you need to stay water. You need to adjust your opinion based on the evidence presented before you. Now, I'm not just taking evidence from this tournament. I'm taking evidence from the past 11 years of tournaments that we have data for. I'm taking data from all my personal experiences. And here's the thing. I've played in tournaments where a site has a really strong A team and their B team comes 5th, 6th, 7th. They're abysmal. They're awful. I've played in tournaments where the B team will be a strong contender in the middle pack, but then they certainly would not defeat the upper tier teams. And I guess at the end of the day, there's a lesson to be learned from Brisbane and the success of the BDRL, and it's that the strength of a site's B team is an excellent indicator of the strength of the site as a whole. And, well, I can't blame myself too much because, one, I have a little bit of a bias knowing a lot of the people on the other teams that were from out of town, and I'd never heard of like anybody from the BDRL except for Screever, who I did think was going to be really good this tournament. But the BDRL have really impressed. Donta, I've mentioned yesterday, Prawn Boy has the highest hit diff in the tournament, and I think also the highest medic hits on Scout. I'm going to double check that. I'm just going to make sure that my math is mathing. But all this is to say that the BDRL are not just a bunch of kids who are getting lucky, who have poor macro game sense, who were going to get overtaken by the other teams coming in. I think, okay, yep, for people with like 10 or more Scout games, Prawn Boy 1.6 hit diff, and let's see, 3.33 medic hits. Basil has 7 Scout games, so I guess you could count him, but that's still like 0.5 more medic hits than the next highest person. So basically, we've got some really talented players playing their roles on this team. They have not been switching it up. Twin's been staying at Commander. Prawn Boy and Rook have been killing it on Scout. They're doing all the things that it takes to take the tournament seriously and try to win. And potentially, doubting them is one of the things that made them want to try that and not mix up their roles and have fun with it too much. So BDRL, I commend you. You have absolutely proven yourself. You smushed the International Men of Mystery today. And your games against All-American team on the first day or the second day, I forget which day, maybe it was the second day yesterday, they were very close. I'm worried that they're going to be able to defeat you tomorrow, but I also am thinking you guys are getting better too. That'll be an interesting game to watch. I'm really not sure who's going to win it. Because even the game that All-American won, Dante got hit 0 times. It just seems a little fluky to me. And then to absolutely make my friends hate me, I'm putting All-American team above International Men of Mystery. I think that after a rough first couple days, they have found a lineup that is working for them synergistically. I also was afraid that Beans getting injured, well, in classic Beans fashion, he's right back on the field. These Syracuse players are made of rubber, I tell you. I think taking Scythe and putting him on Scout and putting Beans on Commander is working pretty well. And honestly, one of the biggest reasons I'm putting All-American up there is Brew. Brew is showing that like he's the #1 weapon on this team, and the team is actually building around him. He is frequently going out to attack. Beans is soaking up tons of attention and still dropping his nukes as he gets them and not playing cocky. Cody is showing out to be an incredible scout, frequently saving his team by triple tapping 3 hits that are trying to break in on them. And when you have Scythe able to just play scout, like that is a freaking win condition and a super comfortable spot for him. I think Lenny and Stu have been able to hold it down well in the back line. I do think they're playing a little sloppy. But what I think they have over the Men of Mystery is that they have less... I think they are less dependent on each other's success for individual success. I think the Men of Mystery are showing like they have a really good synergy, and I do expect them to do some really cool stuff in the next couple days. And I absolutely see a world where they place 3rd or even 2nd, where they pull the synergies together. But it just seems like they're having trouble finding a way to deal with teams that are just out trading them. Because when they get put on the back foot, like they're having trouble recovering. And we're seeing some really quick drop-off games, early heavy killed out of the game games. Yeah, they beat All-American yesterday, but I guess Scythe had food poisoning, and that's the game that Beans got injured, and then Tomik came in. Tomik's good in his own right, but I don't put him at the level of Scythe and Cody. So, to be honest, I think they're All-American's a more complete team at this stage than International Men of Mystery. I think there's just less weak links to worry about. But I could be very wrong about that. And honestly, I hope I am, because I would love to see Loveland place higher than that, my 3 Loveland guys. And I have a feeling that they're going to figure some stuff out too. But as of right now, I'm thinking that my original thought on All-American Supercharged is beginning to come to fruition. Auckland in fifth. I think they're still having trouble getting over the hump where they have gotten close to beating Men of Mystery or All American. It's been um, like G&D's been dying out of the game, and it's been much more about needing to really dominate the midfield more. And I feel like they play too cautiously sometimes. I'd love to see Auckland taking more big play risks, trying to um, make something happen. I was shouting on the cast at the end of the All American game, like they were beating the All American team, but like, well, they killed out the medic. They needed to start pushing hard, but they just played it so safe in like the last couple minutes of the game. Everyone got full. They kind of slow pushed in. I need more viciousness out of Auckland. Um, Laserforce crew. Yeah, it's a hard day for me when I have to put two Brisbane teams above two Loveland teams. And it's a dangerous thing for me because if a Loveland team rises above and defeats one of these Brisbane teams, I'm going to look like the worst friend in the world and like a total idiot for not believing in my own guys. But I'm going to tell you what I think is the truth. Um, Laserforce crew have proven to be a really stout team. I still think they struggle with getting upside out of some of their players, with having having those big breakout games, enabling one or two or three of their players to just demolish people in the midfield. But they're absolutely slowing down games and bringing it to just a hit diff game. Their scouts are popping off really well. Toyota plays really smart. He holds down a good defense. He goes into attack where needed. And frankly, they're just far more stable than the two teams below them. And I am now of the opinion that even if the two teams below them might in some capacities have more talent or potential to do certain types of play styles, I don't think that it's kind of like when you're playing um maybe pickleball or volleyball, like sometimes you just have to keep hitting the ball correctly over the net and wait until the enemy shoots themselves in the foot. They decide to hit it too hard and it falls out of bounds. Or wait till the enemy makes a mistake in chess before you capitalize instead of taking big risks. Like, I feel like they're just so stable and coordinated and mature as a team. I don't know if the curveballs or Olympus are going to be able to break them. Bringing me to the curveballs, I think the reason they almost lost today is because they were kind of trolling themselves and letting themselves have a little fun. It almost cost them so big. And to be honest, part of me was like, I hope Olympus just makes you regret this choice. I hope I like if you're in internationals and you want to goof around while this team is trying their absolute hardest to beat you. Ooh, yeah, I thought Olympus deserved that win, but Loveland has the talent and experience. They were able to pull it out. They've got a lot of really talented players. But I did get the sense today that they're still figuring out a lot of stuff. So I hope tomorrow they just kind of bring it in and be stable. But I'm projecting that we're going to see a little more instability. Um, I would recommend they get a lineup in order and practice it all day tomorrow and be ready for finals. Be ready to take this really seriously and bring your A game. Because I think they could pull some upsets. But right now, I'm worried they're coming seventh. And Australia Olympus, I could definitely see the path for them placing higher. But you watch their games and it's like they're doing some things so well because they have both talent and now knowledge, but they also are missing just little details that really cost them. Today it was when an enemy player came in and flushed them out. The resupplies just sat there and they didn't know where to go. They needed a fallback plan. Medic got missiled, wasn't good. So there's just little things they need to keep working on. And I'm worried that will ultimately cost them when all the three teams above them are in finals, bringing their full strength, full power, and not going easy at all. I did make a couple extra markers today. I made some tiers. I think Brisbane is in a tier of their own. I think BDRL have established that they are a tier above the other two teams. And like these teams got to figure out what it is that Brisbane does to make them play so well in their own arena if they want any shot of being able to defeat the BDRL. And then from there, ever taking a game off of Brisbane is going to be it's going to take a miracle, I think. And I actually put all four of these teams in the bottom in their own whole tier. I really believe that any of these teams could beat the other in finals. This is where I think the order is going to go. I'm cheering for the Loveland Curveballs. I'm cheering for Olympus to beat someone that isn't the Loveland Curveballs. And I love the individuals as people on Auckland A and the people in Laserforce Crew. Like, I know Lucidune and Toyota, like, they're really cool people. So it's not like I have malicious wishes for anybody, but this is how I think the standings are going to go. I think Auckland's going to win out based on their experience and talent, but in a pretty stable, no mistakes kind of way. Like, honestly, at this tier, I think not shooting yourself in the foot is what's going to get you to the top. And then I was just thinking, like, All-American did have far more success against the BDRL than the Men of Mystery did in either of their matches. So I'm curious if All-American has a chance to take another game off of BDRL tomorrow, especially now that they got a better lineup figured out. They've kind of hammered out some of the kinks. But the Men of Mystery keep beating the All-American team. So, but then the BDRL keeps squishing the Men of Mystery. So I don't know what to say. I kind of drew this out. I just wonder if there's some kind of a play style countering thing going on. I wonder if All-American has what it takes to beat the BDRL tomorrow. Okay. That's my re-rankings, which brings me to my favorite storyline. My favorite storyline I actually moved to the end of the video today to go in line with these rankings. I think the storyline is the legacy of Brisbane, to be honest. Like, Brisbane's been winning tournaments for I'm gonna give a wide estimate of like 30 to 40 years at this point. Somebody in the chat was saying that they retired, I think, like 20 years ago, but played for 15 years. There is so much history and where it all began. It began in Brisbane. This was the Laserforce HQ, and it's no longer the Laserforce HQ. Laserforce is owned by Pixel Games now, but so there's kind of like a new chapter, and this is legacy we're talking about. But Brisbane has had the greatest minds and the greatest talent in Laserforce since like the beginning of it all, and they've maintained quite the dynasty, I would say. People might get annoyed at me talking about it. It's hard to talk about a site that isn't yours being amazing. But I don't know if we're ever going to see a site like this and I think part of it's because they've been such front runners in terms of developing the strategy and the meta. A lot of what we're doing in the States, learning to innovate the game, like it's things that I think Brisbane players have known for a long time. And when I say that a B team is like it's an indicator of the power of a site and their potential, it's because, like, look, you have on All-American Supercharged, International Men of Mystery, Auckland A. That's essentially the best of the best that are coming out to this tournament from around the world. I know there are players that stayed home. I know you could theoretically build a US super team that could beat BDRL, theoretically. But as far as I'm concerned, if you don't show up to the tournament, like, it doesn't matter, and I don't really care. Like, I'm talking about the players who are actively choosing to play in the tournament scene right now. We can talk all day about retired players and half-retired players, but these are the players that are choosing to show up. This is the best that we have. And the BDRL are consistently beating them. And some of these guys say they've been playing for literally like 2 years. I've known players that have played for 2 years that wouldn't even be able to beat Australia Olympus, where they're at right now. And those guys are rapidly rising, right? They've been playing for like a week. I think the makeup of a player is based on the environment they're playing in. And if you are a player who's reasonably talented and you come in and you've been playing for like 2 years, but you're playing with Rusty, Taipan, you have Tragedy in the building, you got Glader. Um, these players have the best knowledge in the world and the best play in the world of SM5. And if that's the environment that you have to train in, that you have to live up to, well, part of my staying water with this prediction is like maybe Brisbane just has far better tag knowledge and training than most any other site in the world. Because even if this is what other countries can do against the Brisbane B team, and not the B team from 2018. That B team, I think, had a lot more experienced players. To me, it was more understandable why that B team was dominant and competing with the Brisbane A team. This Brisbane B team, to me, looked so much weaker coming in because of the total lack of years of experience and away tournament experience. It doesn't matter. They've been practicing with Rusty and Taipan. I think that's why they're so good. They've learned from the best and they're playing their hearts out. And they have the individual talent. They really do. They really do. They are showing it too. So, I hope that this is not the end of the road for the BDRL. I hope we see some of these players choose to leave their site. I get it's fun to win. I get it's fun to play in your home field. Trust me, I get it. And it's not that I want to like see them. There's definitely maybe a part for lots of people where it's like, fine, you did well in your home arena, come try it in an away arena. That's what the Lovelanders are going through right now. International Men of Mystery, I'm projecting down in 4th. We had a huge home field advantage. And that's what happens when you leave. But maybe just for the community's sake, just to see Brisbane continue to have, people traveling out and playing to carry on that name. It would be really cool. And if BDRL players were doing really well in away tournaments too, that would say even so much more about the legacy of Brisbane. What if there were players who, it wasn't just Rusty, Taipan, and people who played on those teams? What if it was the people that were trained by Rusty and Taipan that continued to dominate in tournaments? That should incentivize you guys. And honestly, like, as much as people don't like Brisbane because they're winners, like, it's fun to have that. Like, we don't want that to go away from the tournament scene. We don't want this level of play to be gone forever. If we had a tournament scene that no longer had Rusty and Taipan, or the Brisboom, like, let's not forget Glader, JFK, Basil, and Sharpshooter, and the way that these guys play. Like, if that went away, I mean, I think it'd be kind of a bad thing for the sport to see that level of play no longer available to us to watch, to relish, to learn from. Yeah, I would welcome, even though they're hard to beat, I'd welcome Brisbane staying around the tournament scene for the long haul. I hope they do. And it takes great pain for me to put them as high as I have today. But I think if I'm being objective, this is what I think is going to be the actual final standings as of right now in the tournament. So I'm hoping for some US success tomorrow, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I think they've earned this recommendation. All right, I'm signing off. See you guys tomorrow. I will be on the stream. Happy to, address the haters and be welcomed in as a glorious new member of the BDRL cult, which I'm pretty sure that's what it is. All right. Have a good night, everyone, or good morning.